Hello everyone, my name is Rick and welcome back to the last of the Gamerverse Marvel vs. Capcom figures that we're going to be taking a look at, for the meantime at least. So today we're taking a look at Gamerverse Gargantos, or SHUMA GORATH as he was in the actual game. And this is another singular release that was around $70, so this guy is expensive. This guy is very expensive. So yeah, I'm very happy about this one, not happy, very excited. Let me not jump the gun here, because this is a very obscure character that I have no idea who it is, but I have seen him in like various media. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he was showcased in Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, back in the first fight that they had with that giant squid thing. But yeah, without further ado, let's take this guy out and see how he looks. Yeah, this guy is absolutely gigantic. So, yeah, he's gargantuan. But no, this guy is honestly really cool. He's a cool looking figure, and a very interesting one to say the least. Mostly because there's a couple of things that I'm interested in talking about here. Especially the tentacles, of course. So, everything else, it looks great. He does have a lot of shading throughout the entire figure, which is really nice. He has a lot of like darker green shading for the wrinkles, which is phenomenal. The like underside of the tentacles also have some nice shading here and there, which is really good. The plastic areas, of course, being the main body itself, is phenomenal and very nicely sculpted. Here's the like information for him, which is interesting because theoretically this is how he should look. So I think I might have him upside down, but at the same time this is pointing down, which is usually what he looks like. I don't know. You can theoretically put him in any direction. The one thing about this is that the eye is only fixed in this position, so you can't like twist it around. It's not necessarily like a full-on circle, it's more so of an oval. So yeah, it does have a nice kind of like clear plastic casing for it, which is interesting. I feel like they could have just done the eye itself, but I understand that they did not want the like the paint rubbing off like while hitting the rest of the section here, which honestly I understand. And the eye does shut down, like you can shut the eye out as well, like putting it up high, all that sort of stuff. You can make him do like a smug look as well, which is cool. Like, really. But yeah, no, this is honestly a cool and very fun figure to kind of hold and just have in your collection. You could have him standing as well if you wanted to. It's just a little bit tricky here and there because you have to like put some tentacles crossing together, all that sort of stuff and everything. So the tips over here to the plastic are a little bit softer, so you could kind of like maneuver them here and there. For the tentacles themselves, they do have hinges where they connect, and they connect super easily. Now the issue is that you can't really take them out after connecting them, so make sure you put them in the placement that you want. I wasn't thinking about the placement when I was putting them on, so just think about that when you're actually doing it, because some of the tentacles have like this curved little line. Some of them are more like slithery than anything, because these end tips are not wired. And I understand why, because if you have like wire all the way throughout the entire tentacle, you do have a chance of this smaller frame just splitting at the seams, which is not the most ideal thing, and then the wire will just be poking out. So I understand that they cut it off at about, where would I say they cut it off? At about here. So about like 70% of the tentacle itself, which is not a bad thing, honestly. Like about 70-80% of the tentacle is still like hardwired for you to pose it however you want. And you do have a lot of range with this figure. Like, even the plastic itself is really nice at bending. You can definitely bend it however you want. There are limitations, of course, because the plastic will sort of like morph around the bendature and all that shtick. So do be careful just handling the figure. But yeah, no, he has great articulation in my opinion, especially for something so like grandiose or like extravagant or abnormal. It is not a figure I honestly thought they would ever make, but they finally did, and he's here. Gargantos or SHUMA GORATH is here, which is honestly pretty cool. But yeah, I like it. It's a really nice, cool looking figure. And I'm not going to spend too much time here because there isn't much else to talk about, because you do get a lot of like posability with this figure. Like you can move them back and forth, rotate them to go side to side, and that's pretty much it. The eye is pretty much just as posable as you can get it to. It's just a really cool looking feature that I feel like more companies should do with like big monsters and everything, but it's fine. It really only works for like a Cyclops looking figure. Now in terms of accessories, he doesn't have much. He has his little like throwing like spike ball, which honestly looks pretty cool. You do have a peg for it for a stand. You just have to find a stand that actually fits that peg hole. It's cool. It's like a little sun that he has. I'm not necessarily too familiar with him in the games himself, so I don't know how he uses this, if he just throws this at an opponent or anything like that. But yeah, no, that's pretty much everything for this guy. Like, this is the last one that I'm going to be reviewing in terms of the Gamerverse line, because I'm not missing any other one. I actually did go through all of them, so unless they actually come out with a Wave 2, this is going to be it for now. Which is honestly a little bit sad, because this was a very like hyped up line, and honestly I do think that they had a lot more hits than they did misses, which is really good. I feel like a lot of times they definitely should have that most of the time. But yeah, going into my final thoughts, this figure is really cool. While I will say that it does take up a lot of space in the shelf, so you should be careful with how you place him and where you place him. For him, he's going to go back in the backside of the shelf for me. I'm not entirely sure if he is going to fully fit, especially in the area for my shelf, but I think he has a little bit of space left. But as an overall score, I'm going to give this figure a 9 out of 10. The only thing that I will like kind of say that is a big deal is like the price. He is $70, so if you're willing to spend $70 for this figure, have at it. Honestly, it's a really cool looking figure. It has nice shading and everything. He is falling over and tipping it on my screen right now. But yeah, no, it's really cool. He's huge. Like, he's one of my biggest figures right now that is not like 1/6 scale or anything. So yeah, I will definitely be careful when posting him and putting him somewhere. But that's pretty much all the time I have for you guys today. I mean, what do you guys think about this figure? Do you like him? Do you not like him? Are you excited? Would you be excited if they announce a Gamerverse 2 second wave? Because I know a lot of companies, Tamashii themselves, Bandai themselves, is making their own Gamerverse line of figures as well, with Cyclops and Spider-Man coming into the fray very, very soon next year. But besides that, I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.